The holiday season is right around the corner and college students are preparing to go home, but some tell me that holiday gatherings will be different this year because of COVID-19. I'm here inside of the Delta Heritage Museum where there are two exhibits telling stories about how women fought for their right to vote and the role Tennessee played in ratifying the 19th Amendment. With over 1,600 COVID-19 cases in Madison County, food delivery apps are essential. And as Waiter continues to expand, users can expect to order from more restaurants in the future. I'm here at JCM, one of the three schools that Senator Ed Jackson visited today, educating students on our U.S. Constitution. He even passed out pocket-sized versions like this one for students to take home. Mayor Conger, along with health officials, say that a large group of people come in and out every day from neighboring counties and they're not wearing masks. And until those counties enforce the proper guidelines, coronavirus cases are expected to rise. Jacinta Render for 39 News in Jackson. Union and furlough workers are not required to perform work search activities, and those who are out of work because of COVID-19 for at least one of the reasons listed under the CARES Act may be exempt as well. The money that was donated to the West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation will go towards caring for homeless patients, but will also provide resources to keep them off of the streets. While many volunteers from the Tennessee Red Cross are in Texas and Louisiana helping those impacted by Hurricane Laura, I stopped by the local office to see what they're doing to prepare for storms that are headed this way. I'm here in Stanton at a local gas station, and despite the flood warnings, people are still filling up their gas tanks to head out on that road. September is National Deaf Awareness Month, and today I stopped by the Jackson Center for Independent Living and spoke to one man who is hard of hearing, and he says that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought about many challenges that he's never seen before. Judge Brett Kavanaugh and Professor Christine Blasey Ford face questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee. And with 40 days until midterm elections, women are watching as both voters and candidates. Mark Judge, a witness in this investigation, was allegedly in the room where the sexual assault took place, according to Kavanaugh's accuser, Christine Blasey Ford. Dyersburg State Community College is leading the way to educating prisoners, and their president tells me this program gives those students the necessary skills to succeed, but it also improves our communities. Classes begin this November with a new cohort of 50 students from the West Tennessee State Penitentiary.
Anyway, it's just, these prisoners are going to come out, they're going to live in our communities. We're a community college, so we're trying to help the community grow and improve.
According to Dr. Boyer, these initiatives will provide incarcerated students with the opportunity to take classes leading to a degree or certificate.
The program that we're using in our prisons is the Associate of Science degree in Business Administration, and it's a transfer degree, and it's also just good preparation if people want to come out and really try to start their own business or go immediately to work, they could.
In July of this year, the U.S. Department of Education announced the college was included in the expansion of the Second Chance Pell Experimental Sites initiative to provide need-based Pell Grants to people in state and federal prisons.
And we find that, there's a lot of research on prisoners leaving and then going right back to prison.
As of now, over 90% of those in Tennessee prisons will leave and about half of them will return. Studies indicate educating prisoners decreases the recidivism rate by 10%.
I know our faculty that work with these students are very impressed with how well they do and how committed they are to being good students.
Another group from the Northwest Correctional Complex will begin classes in January of 2021. Jacinta Render for 39 News in Dyersburg. Voter suppression, a strategy used to influence the outcome of an election by preventing or discouraging groups of people from voting.
Tennessee has a tragic history with voter suppression.
Local attorney Ernest Brooks shares how voter suppression tactics are used across the state. These include unfair photo ID requirements and limited polling places in certain cities.
Photo ID laws that are draconian, as well as fewer early voting opportunities and even fewer precincts in many of our cities.
And early voting opportunities include voting by mail. As the coronavirus is a concern for Americans, many decided to cast an absentee ballot. However, in Tennessee, residents could not use the pandemic as a reason to request an absentee ballot. Voter intimidation is another issue many have faced and could encounter this week on Election Day.
We've had so many signs stolen and vandalized. We are very, very concerned about voters being intimidated at the polls.
This month, a poll worker was fired in Memphis for turning away voters wearing Black Lives Matter and I Can't Breathe t-shirts. Experts say only shirts with candidates' names are prohibited, and the same applies in Madison County.
The voting place is supposed to be something of a sanctuary where you're not influenced by any candidate. So you cannot wear any kind of campaign paraphernalia that has a candidate's name.
Other issues some may encounter could be intimidating phone calls or the receipt of invalid information. Election night and the last day to vote is this week, and Attorney Brooks says for those who face any problems or have any confusion, you can call 855-4VOTE-TN. Jacinta Render for 39 News in Jackson.